Stop the feedback. Stop. Wait, that's not. I don't understand why this doesn't count as video capture. So I think my 4K monitor showed up, but I'm not gonna get it yet. Looks like it showed up 3 hours ago. Maybe I'll get it in the morning. It'll be nice to not be programming at 1080p. Was that a different monitor to the 240 hertz one? Yeah, I'm using the 240 hertz one right now. The problem is, it is a 1080p monitor, so it's not the best for programming. All right, let's get back to business. Get some water, and we'll get back to business. Are fonts looking better in 4K? Yes, they look much better. Especially now, websites seem to go into this crappy trend of really thin-weighted fonts after Apple did it on their phones. And they look horrible at 1080p. Like, they're kind of unreadable. Okay. But even this, like, fat lettering here, it just doesn't look that good. It looks kind of pixely and chunky. It's not very sharp. All right. When last we left off, a few hours ago, whenever that was, we had been working on this mirror stuff, and there were several problems. So I'm going to simplify this level again, and we'll start talking about the problems. Oops. So, didn't delete my block. So this offset vector doesn't totally do the right thing. I'm not sure why. So let's slow down the clock a little. So I'm going north. He's offsetting. My direction of motion is 180 off of his right now, right? So I'm going to go north, and he's going to start offsetting south and then pop closer, right? That's what's confusing me. Okay, wait. If I go north, I'm getting closer to the mirror. So he needs to get closer to the mirror. If I'm going south, I'm getting further away, and he needs to get further away. So north and south needs to match, actually, I guess. Or toward the mirror and away from the mirror, that component of the rotation needs to match. And then this part, so this is actually wrong right now. Like if you walk to the side, like, so if I walk off to the left, I'm going toward the outside of the mirror, this side, as opposed to this side. So something that pings off the outside would ping off the outside, which would be toward the right. So as I go to the left, that should be rotated 180 degrees and go right, which it is. Okay. So what I have to do is I have to break this vector into parallel and orthogonal components. That's my theory. And the parallel components do not rotate. And the orthogonal components do. That's my theory. All right, so who knows if that's totally right, but let's do it. So what do we have on the Mirage? This is an entity, isn't it? No, it's here. We have reflector, reflected, positions incoming, positions outgoing. I'm just going to save the reflectors incoming and outgoing. No, I'm just going to save. Okay, wait. All that stuff that I said about not rotating this vector that doesn't make as much sense for here. It has to rotate, right? It just, okay, the orthogonal component is correct. The parallel component of the in vector needs to be the parallel component of the out vector. Okay, so I'm going to make the vectors out of these paths, because remember we have this like positions incoming and positions outgoing. Although, what if there's multiple mirrors? What's in incoming and what's outgoing? I don't quite know. I guess the outgoing contains everything. So, all right. I don't exactly know what the right solution. I'm just going to start doing it like I do this sometimes, right? I just start doing it, and we see if I'm right or wrong. We just see if I'm right or wrong. So if I have the initial incoming direction, and the final outgoing direction, that's kind of goofy. So if I have the initial incoming direction and the final outgoing direction, then we'll use that. Okay, so okay. There's like too much stuff now to do all this. There's more code than we need. So Evaluate Mirrors does these mirror scans. Where's the second mirror scan? Oh, they're both here. So we do the initial mirror scan. And we do the second mirror scan, right? Okay. We're going to have a bug. That we're going to have to fix. I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to write down some things to do. I'm going to say cleanup, proj, unused members, of which there are many, because they're being superseded by what we're doing now. Then I need to do, I'm going to type this thing just called, a note called to sample hack. I'm going to write down that I have to deal with that. And I'll tell you what to sample hack is in a second. So here's the thing. The incoming direction, I always know. So I can set that. So down here, what was this variable called? Oh no, that was back here. Yeah. So we made these two things. We've got to set these. So ref dot this and ref dot that. The incoming direction is incoming direction. The outgoing direction we don't know because it's the product of recursion and you know, actually, we'll just do this. We don't need, I don't think we need two sample hack. I think we're instead going to modify mirror scan to be outgoing, final outgoing dir. What is in scan result? You know what? Let's put it in there. It's the scan result. So then we make mirror scan. We say result.dir is dir. Now dir will change in the middle of this. See, like down here, as we bounce off other mirrors. But up here, result.dir is dir, just in case we don't do anything. Okay. Do we even compile? No, obviously not. It's not called .dir. It's called final outgoing. Okay. So we're still not doing anything new. We just copied these vectors onto the mirage, or the mirror visual projection, or whatever we call it. So back in draw, now we're going to do that thing with parallel and orthogonal components. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to mask off, I'm just going to do one component at a time and make sure it's right. So here we have this offset source, visual offset source, which is this. So visual offset pair is something, and perp is something. And this is one of the most valuable things I learned in math, right? Is this idea that you break vectors into parallel and orthogonal components and do things with those. And I believe it comes from geometric algebra books that I learned that. I forget even which book. But it's so damn powerful. It's like the number one. I can solve so many problems in linear algebra now that I couldn't solve before. And it's not because this is rocket science. It's just like, hey, I have a way of conceptualizing problems that is relevant to a lot of things. All right, so the parallel component is easy to compute. It is it, so we're calling our mirage it for some reason, even though once we get to a long loop, I like to name it better. And what was it called again? Why don't I put this... Why don't I put this like at the top of the file so I can find it? Because I keep searching for it. All right, mirror projection visuals. Initial dir incoming, final dir outgoing. So dot product, visual offset source, initial dir incoming times initial dir incoming. That gives us a parallel component. And the orthogonal component is just the vector minus the parallel component, right? So visual offset source minus visual offset par. We're going to ignore the parallel component for a minute. And we're just going to say rotate, instead of visual offset source, visual offset perp. So now our guy should pop from square to square. Oh, our guy will pop from square to square, but his side-to-side motion should be correct. Right? I got to get rid of that dumb block. Sorry, it just bothers me too much. Destroy. All right. It didn't get rid of it. Did I not click save? Save 5 times. Reset. Okay. You know what? This is not a beam level. Destroy. Save. Save. All right. Whatever. I got to fix that. Okay. So I'm popping. I'm not sure why we're still getting some interpolation there. That's bothering me. Like we're still seeing some sometimes. So that's not good. But maybe I'm adding the wrong thing anyway. So this is right. I'm not sure why it's disappearing immediately right away. The whole point of the mirage was that it dissolves. So we have to write down mirages dissolve again. But when you radically change the way things work, like this stuff breaks, that's just video games, man. Okay, so maybe that's just the animation. It looks like he's interpolating sometimes. Like what? Okay, anyway. So here's what we do. Pause reflected plus equals. So if we go closer to the mirror on one side, we want to go further from it on the other side. So it's plus equals, or plus equals minus, well, so we have the incoming direction, but it's actually outgoing from the mirror. So it's confusing. So I'm going to make a note of that. Incoming dir is actually outgoing from the mirror. So I'm going to call this visual offset dot because we're going to use that dot product. And this is dot times the initial dir incoming. Okay? So dot is distance away from the mirror. So pause reflected plus equals it dot final dir outgoing times dot. I guess that's right. And if it's not right, we minus sign it. Oh, it's not called dot. Times visual offset dot. Oh. That vector is incorrect. Like it's going sideways. That's weird. Okay, let's just hack it for a second, and then we'll figure out why it's wrong. So, and I'll write down to fix that. fix. God, my to-do list. It's game development, man. You start getting things done and your to-do list gets infinitely long. So if it dot positions outgoing is greater than 1. Now recall, we don't always bounce off the mirror correctly. We need to like add 1 when we bounce, and we don't. So we might not have 2 outgoing positions, but if we do, A is it dot position, or we'll say count is it dot, this is dot count. A is it dot positions outgoing, count minus 2, count minus 1. That's why we need to know. And visual, no, it dot final dir outgoing is, we'll put this inside here so it's very clear what it's referring to. Final dir outgoing is unit vector. It's already a unit vector, but whatever, b minus a. All right. Okay, so we fixed it. And then we have to deal with the sample index. So now why is it wrong Okay. Why is it wrong? Well, so we set dir and then continue, right? Okay. I don't understand. Let's fix this. So here, remember, when we bounce off a mirror, we need to add 1 to the distance. Which you could actually make an infinite loop in 3D. So let's never do that. Like if you shot a beam straight down and it bounced around 4 mirrors that were packed together, that would be bad. But you can't do that in 2D, I don't think. Whoa, okay, we already, what? How did I infinite loop there? That's so weird. What? Seriously? Or is it the fact that I'm just writing to steps max? Wait, what? This could be a bug. Let's just see. I don't think it's a compiler bug, but of course someone calls it by name, so I can't change the name. let's say, let's try that. So if it's a compiler bug with writing to the parameter, it'll crash. Nope. Whoa, what? Now it's just completely... What? Oh, because we're going one step. So there we go. I don't understand what's happening. This does not fit my mental model. Steps max is 101, 101, 101, 101, 6. Assertion. Did we fail an assertion before? When we crashed and I just didn't notice? I don't know. I don't know, man. What assertion did we fail? The outgoing oh. Let's belay that. Okay, so we successfully added one to the parameter. Now, that might have been what was crashing us before. It might not have been an infinite loop. I suspect it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was just that assert. Oh, damn it. Wait, what? We don't want to add one every time. This is too long. Now I'm confused. Did I break my awesome level that I designed? Okay, hold on. If I'm here, I should end up there. So we don't want to add all the time. Okay, I'm confused about this. Let's think about exactly what we want to do. I hope I didn't break my awesome level, but I probably did. Okay, maybe a slight variant of it will work. What is this interpolation that's happening that's driving me nuts? It's probably built into the animation, which would be grim. Okay. Although it shouldn't matter because we're rotating the guy. Okay, one thing at a time. So if I'm here, oh no, we've still got my extra steps plus equals 1 up here. What am I talking about? Right? That was my stupid test. That's why it's wrong. Okay, so here is good, right? So I'm 1 square off, I'm 1 square off. But if I go one more, I land there. Right, so I think this is confusing. Because the way I'm calling this is kind of wrong. Really, once I've found the target, I want to do one mirror scan forward from the target. I'm doing this weird thing where we scan both directions from the mirror, and that's what's making this handling wrong. But, oh, maybe this is right. Maybe adding... Is this right? Let me see. Yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Okay. Now, if I go like this, okay, that messes up my awesome level. I'm upset. I'm upset. I should have fixed this bug before. And my rotation is wrong. What is going on? I thought I did so much good stuff. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. Okay, my rotation is right. Oh my God, so many problems. So many problems. Okay, wrong rotation. Oh my God. So bad. So many problems. Okay, this is good. We've made some progress today. So we just have to... Next step is, why is this vector incorrect? It's because we do the mirror scan in 2 different directions. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to simplify. Yeah, we're going to simplify. Any questions about what the hell is going on? Because I'm like going from rat hole to rat hole. Actually, here's what we can do. I said in the previous stream that I wanted to factor that scanning stuff together. And I said in this stream that I want to remove these redundant elements. And that's a good idea to do those things before I go and change big stuff. Can you just change your awesome level to the space the mirror is 1 block apart? No, because that would put enough space. That would put enough space that you could just walk up the middle. I mean, unless we just had a big row of columns up the middle, which maybe we can do. I wrote down to redesign the level. It'll make the level more complicated, though, which is annoying, but maybe we can resimplify it again somehow. Normalize the quaternion with away from mirror being theta equals 0. Why is it every works when you're looking through the left mirror, everything works? Yeah, so there's things going on that make it complicated, right? So, yeah, so like here I'm facing the correct way, and here I'm not facing the correct way. And it probably has to do with the fact that, again, the treatment of the 2 mirrors is different. We do this thing where we start scanning from the first mirror, and it's more complicated than it needs to be and is bug prone. So let's do simplification. So this, oh my God, this function got so big. All right. Well, one thing at a time. So when we make a mirror reflection, we'll say r dot positions. Okay, so that's good. Okay, that still works. And then this reset of the incoming and outgoing, all this stuff can happen here. Okay. Redeclaration of it, yeah. So let's put those in there. Oh, well, we need them here too, until they go away. Whoa! We're drawing a lot of dots on top of each other is what's happening there. Why? Oh, because we're doing the mirror scan every frame. We just have to move more stuff into here. You know, we're only resetting when we recompute it, but we're doing the mirror scan every frame. So I'm just going to do all this, right? Just go for it. Callback array pointer. Yeah, you gotta, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and do it all. We're gonna hope this works. Okay, well, okay, the reason it's screwing up now is because we're using temporary storage. Here. But the problem is this now lives across frames, so it's getting reset. Yeah. So this is good. All right. So now I'm going to cross out. God, the to-do list got so long today with little things. But I have done some of these. I thought I made one to stop calling this routine. Yeah. Okay. Now the problem is all this, the reason we moved it to where we just moved it is that all this mirror scan stuff is totally redundant with what we just did up here. But let's get rid of some other stuff. So like we have this, because I just want to increase clarity here. You have this proj.orientation. Oh, right. Remember I had a bug that said make the orientation be match the mirage orientation. It's this right here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go what struct is proj again? Oh, mirror projection. I don't think we're going to need anything in mirror projection by the time we're done. So proj.orientation goes away. And this is instead going to be, well, this thing. But instead of it is, well, let me make a note that these match each other. Instead of it is the mirage attached to that mirror. Okay, this is the annoying part. We got to get the mirage. Find or okay. We're going to say we're going to disallow it from creating a new one. And then we're going to do ref really, we should assert on ref, but things have been a little rough lately. We'll just let it slide for a bit. Okay, so find or add. So this just prevents us from making a new one. All right, let's see what happens. Hey, look, he's facing the right way. I mean, he's facing, it's matching. All right, that's good. Let's cross another thing off. I'll also cross off 2 sample hacks since we never did that. Wait, did I already cross this off accidentally? Oh yeah, I already did. Whoops. My handwriting was so bad, I thought something said something else. I crossed it off already. Okay. Things are coming along, I think. This is when you just play with your game for a while, because why not? Okay, so okay, unused members, possibly completely getting rid of mirror projection. I don't think we're going to use the position anymore either. Wow. Well, see, we'd have to keep grabbing that mirage variable. Oh, man. There's a potential mirage ambiguity. Let me fix that. You know what? I'm going to put the mirage on the most recent. Yeah, forget this. Because so the point of mirages is that many of them may stay around. And if one's fading and we make a new one, we might get the wrong one here. So I'm going to say this is proj.most recent mirage. So that's that. Assert ref. We're gonna assert that. And there we go. Oh yeah, let's bring this back for a second. But I think we're going to get rid of it. Oh yeah. What's this one called again? Should just call it a mirage. What? Procedure call did not, oh, right, my assert doesn't do implicit bool. I gotta do this. It will someday do implicit bool, but it doesn't. Okay, so, all right, it works. It works. Wait, what? Why is my distance to the mirror getting... Oh, right. That makes sense. Never mind. I get it. Yeah, I want to make something where you call in like that. We'll go edit that level later. Okay. Okay. Mirage ambiguity is solved, thankfully. That was short-lived. All right. Okay. Since the mirage has all this information, we don't need it on the mirror projection, right? So let's start with maybe Is this in our here? Yeah. All right, well okay. 257. Whoops. This is still the same place. Although, yeah. Like I was just storing it at this point because I factored this together just so I could use it in the same procedure. Which is not useful. Okay, great. So we're getting rid of all this stuff. Proj.position, we should be able to get from most recent mirage.position. All right. That's a bug. Uh-oh. I broke it. I broke it. All right. So it's this. Well, I don't know. It's either this one or this one. It's this one. Really? Why? Shouldn't be different. Let's print it out. Seven zero. Is that because it goes until it hits the wall? Like I'm doing the wrong... Seven one, yeah. So I'm putting the wrong position? So what the hell am I doing? We're still cleaning up unused members. So num squares, I bet we don't even use that. We probably set it. But come on. Oh, right. But that's going to be in the same function, right? Yeah. And we're going to replace this anyway. So the visuals has a reflected, right? So that's the same as entity ID. I really should have checked in at some point, but you know. So if no ID, continue. And we do the same thing. Wait, I missed one. Well, just let the compiler tell us where it is. 1112, no? Looking in the wrong file, draw. Okay. What the hell is it called then? Reflected. It's not reflected ID, it's just reflected. That's the one I missed. Okay. No it. Oh, Mirage. And it's not reflected ID, it's just reflected. We just said that. I don't even know if we need that product. Let's see. If we're just using it for the ID, we don't need it. Oh, 1132. Oh, crash. I bet it's the most recent Mirage is set to null sometime. Let's see. Get rid of our breakpoints. Can't believe how bad they break the UI to this program every single time. All right, yep, most recent Mirage is null. Why, though? Wait, what? We have a Mirage. Why is it null? Why is it null? Why is it null? Did we just accidentally delete? I'm going to get rid of this can add that I added. So it really should never return null, but that's not going to change anything. It's still going to crash. Do I like reset the mirror projection at the beginning of the frame? Like what? So I also do has projection versus projection.invalid. That's another redundancy versus if most recent Mirage.entity ID is 0. So eventually we want to get rid of all this and just have this be here. That's my goal. So my question is, what's going on with the projection? It says invalid is false. Should mean it's valid. I don't know. Oh. Right, we're iterating over every mirror. By the way, cleanup, we can just mark it valid when we finish the scan and don't have to check it here. So if we have no most recent Mirage, we don't do anything. That's obvious. All right. All right. We have to set the most recent Mirage to null if we do a, yeah. Like here, We got to do, oh, null, not ref. Null, not ref. So the problem was I was walking away from a mirror and my reflection was still there. So I was doing this, and that was not happy. Now it's fine. Okay, I'm going to save before I keep going because I've been tearing stuff up. Much cleanup of mirror code. And we're going to tear a little more up. All right. We're going to tear a little more up. Like has projection. Probably nobody uses that. Oh, I need to let's just deprecate that. Okay, nobody uses that. Great. I need to keep it unless we have any really old entity files. Later I'll make the system work without you allocating this, but in the meantime, yeah. Now it's getting cold again. Temperature management in this apartment is still something I'm learning. Okay. So we're almost done with all the crazy extra members from all this redundancy. And then we got to get rid of the extra computation as well. Okay, mirror projection. Oh, invalid. Yeah, invalid's going to go on the mirage. It already is on there. Okay. So is the mirage called mirage? Yeah. So we use that mirage.invalid. Line 207. We're just going to have a local called invalid and set it there. No more proj.invalid. All right. So now this struct is reduced completely to mirror projection visuals. That's weird how he like... I don't know how we're going to fix that. That's weird. Probably by zeroing orthogonal. No, I see. We could maybe do it. The problem is just me moving more than one square. Oh, no, it's not moving more. I don't know. We'll work it out. Okay, now we get rid of this, and we just put this straight on the mirror. No more mirror projection, bro. All right. Okay. Going to shorten this up a bit. So if no mirage, okay, and then same thing. Get rid of this and this. All right. Hey, it's always good when we simplify. Oh, no, not mirage. Mirror projection is gone. But now we got to get rid of this stuff. I should have done a line count before I did all this. What are we at? 61615. Well, yeah. Okay. I could scroll up a bit. See that we're 61626. All right, we're coming down. I have to fix this scroll bar fucking idiocy. Scroll bar. Where's the thing? Where's the thing where it hides the scroll bar or not? Oh. Show. God. The idea of auto-hiding scroll bar is one of the worst UI ideas of the last 10,000 years. All right. Okay, so we're coming back down here. Now the thing is, all this mirror scan stuff that we just did is happening again. It is happening again. All right, so I'm going to rename this from ref to mirage. Okay, now we're going to make this up at the top of pass 2. Oh, wait. Now I'm confused. Where's the other mirror scan? Is there more mirror? Wait, now choose. So evaluate mirrors does 2 mirror scans at the top. Right, and then here we do our second pass. So this is where we create the mirage. Because we want to put stuff on it. Except, I think I already have incoming and outgoing here, right? It's a confusing name anyway, once all this. So we gotta go incoming positions. Yes, they're longer names. It's fine. Okay. So to do the orientation tracing, right, we need to know the incoming and outgoing direction sooner than we do. All right. We're going to move this up here. So this should all still work, except for that bug ID. 174. Oh no. Okay. This is fine. Here's what we need to do. We need to move this up above, back to here again. We need to do this, and it's outgoing direction. Okay. Right. This is the problem when I move everything around so much. Right. Funny, it's picking up the global function. I deleted that line. What was it? What a pain in the butt this has been. What a pain in the butt. This num squares is not even right. God, I hate doing this kind of ordering thing. It's all mixed up. Outgoing is used here, but shadowed later in the same block. Okay, so this is points. Wait, didn't I call it? Oh, it's positions. All right. Finally, let's just compile it again just to make sure we're not dreaming. All right, so that's great. Now, the whole reason I've been doing all this is so I can get rid of this mirror scan and put this callback way up there. Except I can't get rid of them all yet. Because yuck. Well, we'll rerun the incoming. We're going to get rid of one of these mirror scans right this second. Let's just put this stuff in one place, get it out of there. Okay, this outgoing scan is completely redundant with this. Yeah. Okay, so we've got this outgoing result, and okay, so we had this identity ORI, that's redundant with what's up there, right? We set the callback array. Oh no. Problem is we haven't made the mirage yet. Why not? Okay, so this mirror scan the hell is pause? Is that the same as mirror position? Yes. Okay. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Whoops. Right. So now we need to squeeze in our making the mirage up here. Right, that works, yes. And we can do this, but we can't move this mirage.invalid. But we can do all this. All right. I'm just going to group that off because, you know, it has nothing to do with anyone else. Except, damn it. All right. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And now, to get rid of this second scan down here is not practical yet. So I'm going to make a check-in. But the next step is scary. The next step is to change from this 2-pass hack thing to this 1-pass thing, where we shoot the beam out from the guy. So right now we're starting with, like, whichever mirror we hit first is privileged and controls the operation of all this bouncing, and that's splitting the operation into 2 parts. And I don't like that, so I'm gonna change it. Okay, does anyone know what's going on? How are things? Let me check chat. People are programming language arguing again. Programming language. All right, well, whatever. Whatever. Okay. Clean up proj unused members. That is done. This has turned into a giant rat hole. A giant rat hole. You know, I think my original zigzag level is right. So if you consider that you're bouncing off the middle of a mirror, right, then your distance from the mirror is 1.5, and the first mirror no, I guess it's It's hard to think about, man. I'm going to write down, rethink about, when awake, rethink about mirror distances. I think like if I'm 1.5 from these two mirrors put right next to each other, it's 1.5 to, it's 1 unit to get there. Yeah, I think it was right originally. I think this adding extra distance is incorrect. I don't think this is right. Because geometrically speaking, if we have this, so I'm 1 unit, I'm standing on the center of the square, I'm 1 unit away from the middle of that mirror, which would put me exactly distance 0 from the next mirror. Right? And so I can't go. Okay, I think that was right. So zigzag doesn't really need editing, actually. All right, well, that means I can cross a thing off. Oh, God, okay. Is the right mirror working? Well, I didn't change any of this stuff, so no. But I'm about to do some drastic, I mean, all of that stuff that I just did was annoying bookkeeping changes, like for the past hour, right? To simplify the code. I'm going to cross out rethink about mirror distances because I just did, and I'm happy with my conclusion. So now is the first actual change, which is that, so this mirror scan, the first pass, no, not mirror scan, what is it called? The thing that calls mirror scan. Okay, evaluate mirrors. What we do first is we look in both directions and find an entity. And then, instead of reflecting the entity back the other way from the mirror as a privileged position, I wanted to start at the entity and go forward. And then we don't have these two arrays of points to manage. And we don't have like all these well, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I should just fix the bug first. So the bug is that mirror scan So this thing is just passing in dir A and dir B in the order that they come off the mirror. But this is a cross product, so the direction matters. Right? So really, we want to use the direction we were going and the direction we're going to go. Like that. Okay, so now it totally doesn't work. But it's wrong both times. I don't think this is going to matter because it's a 180, right? Oh no, it matters. Okay. Okay, so now it's correct. Facing toward, bounce, bounce, facing away. Facing toward, bounce, bounce, facing away. Facing toward, bounce, facing away. Facing toward, bounce, facing away. Yeah, so that was all it took. It was just a little bit of smots right there. Maybe I don't want to do this super painful thing yet. I don't have a reason to do it yet. Oh, what about my beam direction problem? What was going on there? Well, let me just. Does the witness use STL containers? None of my code in the witness uses STL containers. I think Ignacio's code maybe uses some things that are like standard vector, but it comes from libnv, which is like its own implementation of standard vector. I don't know. But my code does not use STL. All right. Now, what are we doing? I'm starting to get tired, but there's definitely things to do. There's just things to do. Okay, I fixed the wrong rotation. Okay, so I think we still have this hack called fix beam dir. Yeah, so final dir outgoing is not being correctly set. Right, so if I comment out the fix beam dir hack, yeah, see, we're moving to the side now, and that's no good. So why is that incorrect? Final, wait, is that? We have a final dir outgoing, and a final outgoing dir, and we should just be able to set that. Final dir. We never set final dir outgoing. All right, we forgot that part. That was the problem. So most recent. So Mirage, blah, 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 Mirage.final dir outgoing is outgoing result second pass.final outgoing dir. Blah, blah, blah. Still doesn't work. What? What? Oh, because I set it down here. To the wrong value. All right, it's working now. I mean, it's still got that teleport by a square issue, but apart from that, we're good. One step at a time. One step at a time. Whew, well, we pushed a whole bunch of stuff on the stack, and we popped a whole bunch of stuff off the stack. This to-do list was brand new this morning. Okay, so there's still some glitchiness in that Mirage, like the way it bumps around, but you know, I want to do some other things right now because I was slaving away in that coal mine for a little too long. So here's what I want to do. See how the dots representing the path here are, first of all, they're being drawn at like z equals 0 or something. And that's why they're not being occluded by the meshes. Like you can see those dots over the guy's head, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I want to start moving toward, you know, eventually these will be like some cool effect of like, ooh, like, I don't know, some kind of mirror beam particle cool effect situation. Oh, and then also, I want to maybe scale the size, and since these are all hooked up to the Mirage now, I should be able to scale the size and alpha, like opacity, with the fadeaway time. So see how it hangs out for a while there? Like instead of just hanging out all solid, we can make it fade away smaller. Let's do that. Let's do that. Where do we draw the dots? Dot, path dot big, path dot small. Right. And the Mirage has on T. Okay. So on T is a 0 to 1 value. So we just will scale the alpha by on T. And that'll make it fade, in theory, unless we reset the color later on, but I hope we don't. So, shoop, shoop. Already better. Let's give it a little more life. So, the radius is what? 0.1. All right, times mirage.onT. We're just going to scale all these. I don't totally love that, but it at least feels like some effort is going in. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it fade more. We're going to square the alpha scale. Should we cube it? What, really? Is that working right? I don't believe that's working right. If it's working right, then this will work right. Okay, yeah, that goes away real fast. So instead of 100, 10th power? Alpha blending is weird. Okay. 8th power. 6th power. Yeah, all right, something like that. It just feels like something's happening. All right. So now let's at least change the shader. used here. Let's not use HUD icons. It's shader, ARGB, and texture. And the dot positions. What is mirror offset? Oh, right. Okay. Well, we're just going to straight up call some GL in here, because that's how we're doing it. Okay, it's not working. Like, wait, we don't want, is GL depth mask controlled depth writing? It's GL enable GL depth test. That's what I want. We don't want a depth mask. That's the wrong thing. Hey, look, it's behind the guy. And they're floating in space. The thing is, I mean, maybe we should draw them at O.2 because they're so high up in the air, they're not centered anymore. Try O.1. Like, really, you want to, like, draw them on the ground, but with a depth fragment like offset, but I don't want to do that right now, so okay, this is reasonable till later when we do the better effect. But like the fact that it doesn't go over his head and that it doesn't go over the mirrors, right, is just better. I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I think it's all right. That may be enough for this stream. Oh, no, let's do one more. Let's do two more. Let's do two of the smaller things we noticed today. This is when you go into overtime. You're like, all right, I want to quit. I'm tired. But then you're like, we're going to get the extra things done today, and so forth. So use mirrors. Needs to trigger post-move reevaluate. Who calls post-move reevaluate normally? Mirror aisles and simulate. Post-move reevaluate. Well, we'll try just putting it in there. We'll try just in use mirrors. That should trigger a post-move reevaluate, though. So the reason it wouldn't is if visual interpolation returns the wrong thing. So it was update single visual interpolation. So should physically move is the first argument. If it's a teleport, okay, this is kind of garbage. Okay. Yeah. I do teleport movement. What does this return? Do linear. Should physically move. Because that's what people above us want to know is, well, just anytime we move someone, do teleport movement. Okay. I don't know if we use the interp complete. Oh, God, it's a mess. All right. I think that's probably enough. Now we got to do some things. Let's get a dragon. That'll do. Whoops. Bring him into this level. Bring him down one. Oh, he's up two. Down. Bring him down to the ground. So if he's going to be spewing at this guy, he needs to be, well, okay. He will be here pointing to the outside of the mirror, which will be down. So this guy will be here, right? Okay. All right, so, yeah, that's what we want to see. All right. You can barely see the dragon breath because it goes away so fast. I don't know why it goes away so fast. Keep dragon breath on when players are dead. All right, so the one other thing The one other thing is I want to be able to set the active hero correctly. For some reason, that's not working. So I'm hoping that doesn't turn into a rat hole. Okay, now we got to make multiple dudes in this level. We'll load it. We'll get rid of this guy. We're going to turn off this guy's active flag. We're going to go paste, paste, paste. There's 4 dudes here. We're going to make this one active. And when we start the level, I want that. Nope, not that guy. That guy. It's just picking the guy closest to the top. Really, okay, wait. Really, you need to set the turn order. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe I just forgot that you need to be able to set the turn order. And when they're all the same, turn order. Oh yeah, okay. 1, 2. Never mind. This active thing is like not the right thing. Right? Reset. Oh, bottom guy. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Oh yeah. Okay, that was already done. We don't need to do anything. Awesome. Look at all that stuff crossed out. Look at all that stuff crossed out. I am going to log off this stream, and then maybe in 5 minutes I'll go through the VODs and like upload these past 5 streams to YouTube or whatever so people can see them. Any final questions on what happened? Since the language doesn't have switch as a reserved word, have you taken the opportunity to go wild? Use the word switch for an in-game entity name. Yes, well, I use it as a variable name sometimes. Like that happens all the time because like I have games with switches in them. Like like entities where you flip the switch and something happens. And in C++, I often have to name them something slightly awkward. And here, I am able to use the word switch. But maybe if I had a game with a lot of cases in it, I would feel sad. I don't know. Why do I dislike OpenGL? I'm sure that I'm on record on YouTube ranting about OpenGL several times. Can I give you some close-ups of my bookshelf? The bookshelf isn't sorted through yet. Kind of what happened is I moved in here and I had a bunch of stuff. I had some more recent books, many of which are not that necessarily like central books to me, but that I intended to read. And then I got a bunch of older books out of storage that have been there 4.5 years, and I'm still sorting through them and getting rid of a bunch because I have too many books. There's also a bunch of books up here that you can't see. I really don't want to have as many books. I should have maybe 1/3 as many books as I do. Some of them, a lot of them are just things that I'm meaning to read that I haven't read yet, but that I would be able to read if I just stopped going on websites, which I'm doing better at lately, by the way. A lot of them are math and science books that probably I won't even read anytime soon, but they're sort of useful for reference. There's some fiction books that are important to me, and some other things like that. I don't know. Maybe someday when I get it all sorted out, again, we can take a look. Thoughts on standing desks? Well, I use an adjustable height desk, but I don't usually stand at it. But I think it's important to be able to adjust your desk to your exact height to eliminate potential problems. Because, you know, you can always adjust your chair to the desk height, but then your feet might be at an awkward elevation, and that can, you know, cause problems. So, yeah. There is such thing as too many books when you got to move and you've got like tons of boxes of books. I'm not one of these people who like has a good ego from having a big library or whatever. You know, I'm not that way. Not that way. I do tend to have a lot of books from authors that I like. Like I'll get several things. So, you know, I've got a lot of Calvino books. I've got some Salman Rushdie books. I've got a bunch of Greg Egan books. Certainly not all of them, but the ones that I like the most. Yeah. I don't know. Did I just move or am I moving now? I recently moved. Yeah. All right, everybody. Good night. I'll see you later.